Yeah, no, we've had a couple road trips at the beginning of the year, and I don't know if I love the back-to-backs and 3 and 4 so early in the year, but there's nothing you can do about that. I think everybody's got it, but I do like a couple trips like that early for our team. We have a lot of new players. They have a chance to kind of get to know each other a little bit more, spend more time with each other, and I think it's worked out well. I thought the guys had a lot of character in the last 2 games. We could have, again, we said it after the first trip, and I think after that San Jose game, it really set in with our team. I know we didn't have a great start against LA, but I think it's still stayed with them that like close isn't good enough anymore, and I think that's what kind of brought us back and dialed us back in that second half, or especially the third period of the LA game, and I think that's a big step for this team. And then not to be just satisfied with one win at the end and getting 2 wins on the trip, to really push for 3, and playing the next day. I'm probably a little fatigued, and just I thought they executed much better in a 60 minutes against Anaheim. So I'm happy with the road trip. Again, saying that we could have had more points even.
Last year, it seemed like when things went badly on the road, they went very badly. Is there something different in the mentality this year, that even if you have a tough period, that guys aren't letting it spiral?
Yeah, I think this group's close already, and maybe partly because of those 2 road trips, lots of time together, but lots of guys have been experienced around the league, and I think they're a good group. They hold each other accountable, and it doesn't kind of linger, or nobody's grudgeful. It's just the way it is. And I think like I said earlier, the frustration. There's always going to be frustration, but in the LA game, we were very sloppy. Our passing, our execution wasn't great. There's always frustration. You hear it from north-south on the bench, the forwards to the D to the forwards. But I think we dial it back in a lot quicker now, and we get refocused. And I think that's has to say a lot about the leadership of the team and the veterans.
Where's Laurent Courtois at right now?
He's in the gym. He had a gym day today, so hopefully, I don't know if it's on the ice tomorrow or this week, but same as Martinez. He was on the ice by himself, and we're hoping, I don't have a timeline on either of them, but hopefully they're going to make their graduation and be back soon.
Did Courtois have a setback? It seems like we're past his original timetable.
Yeah, I think it was past the original timetable, but I think you just never know, and especially with goalies, I think you got to make sure that they go through the progression, because it's that up and down position. It's really hard on your body. I remember when I was in Montreal, it was a very similar. Gary Price coming back from injuries. It took a little longer than maybe we would put on a player. So at the beginning of the year, we don't really need to push him. I think Sodi's playing great, and Peter's playing excellent. So let him take the proper time for a goalie that's been around a long time to do it properly.
That's Donato, in camp, where he saw him, if he even had a fit on this roster, and he said he was 50-50. So when you look at where he was and where he is now, does that remind you of any player that you played with? What do you think of that whole?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he took it upon himself to work on his skating and fitness in the summer, and knew that was an area that he can improve on, because he is a really tenacious guy and can shoot a puck. He doesn't need to really work on that. Just getting himself more opportunities to do it, I think, was the goal, and I thought he did an excellent job of that. And we saw it in training camp. Deserved to start the year. Move, and he's a guy that can move around, and he's 100% fine with it. Yes, coach, whatever you need. That's the answer you get. And you put him at center, right wing, left wing, kill some penalties some games, power play now, and he's getting it done. And I think that's just shows a determination of a player that knows that maybe he has to work his way in, and he's taking advantage when he does that. I don't know if I can really attribute it to anybody, that I can remember that's like that, but I'm sure there's lots of players that are in that boat where you're not sure where they even came from, but they're there and they're doing well.
What have you seen differently from Arvid this year?
I think more the same from the beginning of last year. I think he was confident, and I'm not, giving him any excuses for last year or anything, but I thought we didn't do a great job in front of him after the beginning of the year, when we got injuries and when we got, took a lot of blows to our our lineup, I thought we started letting a lot of goals in the back door. And I said it before, I think it makes a goalie feel unconfident and untrustworthy of our system and our defensive zone or line rushes against it. He starts to sink, and then a big goalie is not so big anymore. So where he was really good last year against the 2 Toronto wins was very similar to last night's game, like secondary chances around the net, solid on the post. I think he's just confident. He's worked on his game to get it back up over the summer, very much like Donato came in and great shape, confident, worked on his game, knows it's an opportunity, and just trying to make the most of it.
It buys you a little time with Brossoit too.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I think that's another thing. It'll let a goalie that's been around for a while and some miles on him, that you want to make sure that he takes the proper amount of time. Otherwise, then you're limping to the end of the season because it's going to bother you the rest of the year. So this has been really good timing for Arvid and for us as a team.
When you have a guy like Patrick Kane that comes back, that has meant so much to an organization, do you ever have to worry about like kind of dominating the atmosphere with the team that he used to be on?
I don't think you're going to control that. I think the fans obviously are going to welcome him back and appreciate what he brought to this organization, and we'll do it after the game. But we want to do it in a condoling way and say nice try instead of nice game, great game. He's a great leader that did a lot of things, I think, on the ice, but I've heard lots of things off the ice that people don't even know about it, and I think that's a great legacy to have. And I know he's competitive. He wants to continue his career and win. Unfortunately, just didn't work in our timetable here, and he's doing his thing that he's always done, and he's doing it again this year. So we got to be very alert for him and not get caught up in the attention that he's getting, and just play him like any other really good player.
Wyatt Kaiser, is he okay?
Yeah, he just took a high stick, no teeth or anything like that. Just a couple, probably going to get a couple stitches, and that's it. He'll be fine.
We all silly like the mayor.